All right, everybody, and we are back. We apologize for those technical difficulties. Hopefully that's the last we see of those tonight. But we are back on lap 48 of 125 here at the one way in, one way out 125, brought to you by Speed Racing Network. And common sight here from the first part, you have Danny Dow right out front under caution.
Yeah, Sean, we regret to inform you, however, that there have been many more cautions since we went away, and it seems that that do-gooder prize is getting further and further away from the grasp of anyone on this track.
Hey, but don't look now. Look at the do-gooder in second place. That's Bobby Brill, our winner from last week.
Yeah, Bobby Brill, he's been running up there. You know, it's going to be interesting to see if we can get some green flag laps going, though, and see if any of these guys can catch up to him.
Well, you know, after a little while, some of these cars are going to start having to head into the pits to get full repairs instead of fast repairs, and I think that's going to level off the field a little bit.
Well, I would say most of these fast repairs, I know we don't have visibility into that as from the broadcast side, but I've got a feeling that a lot of these guys have used those fast repairs. I mean, just look at the cars down there, Sean. They're beat up every which way from Sunday.
So let's take a quick glance down the leaderboard here. So we have Danny Dow out in front, Bobby Brill in second place. Looks like you have Dean Brummett in third and Adam Pettit in fourth place. So a lot of common names up there at the front.
Yeah, you got Troy Dow there too. Marshall Stanley, we haven't seen him up there. Zimmerman. Look at Daniel Baldler though. He's climbed his way up there after getting into some bad stuff early on. You also got Brian O'Shell up there as well.
Yep, and so it looks like we're going to be under caution for another lap. I think I saw the lights go out in the pace car there, but it looks like they came back on. We're going to extend this caution out a little longer.
Yeah, I'm sure that the race control is probably talking with a couple of the drivers. I would imagine at this point there's probably a little bit of hysteria, confusion, and just all-out frustration down there on that track.
All right, but we've got Danny Dow up front. He was last season's champion. I think he's going to be gunning for a second one.
Yeah, don't remind me. Sean, I was in that race.
That's right. I apologize. I apologize.
He did really well. It's all good. Here we go. We're going back green.
And jumping out to another lead, that's Danny Dow. If he just keeps doing this, he is going to bring it to victory lane pretty easily.
Well, again, Sean, we haven't seen a lot of green flag running tonight, so just curious if we're going to see any long green flag runs, because I've got a feeling, as good as Dow is, there's going to be some other people that can get up there and challenge him if we have those long green flag runs.
Yeah, and Bobby Brill holding his own up there in second place, but he's got a little bit of work to do to catch Danny.
Yeah, Danny's got a fast hot rod, but if you look back there too, you're looking at some of these other cars. You got Zimmerman, you know, the 83, the 00 that was in a lot of accidents earlier on. Pettit's falling back. Not sure quite what's happened there, but you know, we got some guys starting to move and shake a little bit. And you're starting to see some guys like Justin Boyles, Joseph DuPont moving up, Jake Roll, Brian O'Shell we talked about earlier. Chris Massey's got up there, got a great run on that restart.
Yeah, Chris Massey, what a great addition for Wild Bill Motorsports. But Danny Dow leading by 0.4 of a second, extending it out to 0.5 of a second now.
They got a little bit of action back there between the 54 and our pole sitter. Looks like the 9 car just got by him. Oh yeah.
Looks like we had some damaged vehicles down there on the apron. Hopefully everybody gets through cleanly. Well, this is the most green flag laps we've had so far, Thomas.
Yeah, knock on wood, Sean. Hopefully we'll see some more, but even right there, it looks like the 96 got stood up a little bit, and they went 3 wide coming across the start-finish line. So as these tires start to fall off, Oh, and there's a caution.
Oh, and there we go. We have our caution. And I'm not even sure which number caution we're at anymore. It has been a complete disaster all day today. So let's see if we can't go back and figure out exactly what happened there. I think Sean Dice was involved in this one as well.
Yeah, I saw the 09 down there on the inside. No, it looks like that's somebody else that spun out, either trying to go on pit road or trying to get woed up there.
Yeah, that's the 555 of De Silva that we're watching right there. And once again, we're trying to just get back live here. Let's take a look and see if we can find out exactly what happened there. So we're going to have to back it up the manual way here. Once again, just having a few little connectivity issues, I believe, through our scoring as well as the actual race itself. But there's De Silva getting to the inside of, looks like Corey Knight, our fearless leader. Corey gets on the wall, comes down into De Silva, and that's what's bringing out the caution this time around. He gets slammed by Bill Spears as well as a few others. There's that Sean Dice car as well. So a lot of damage there. Just one mistake is all it takes.
John, you remember growing up those little round rubber balls, they called them moon balls or super bounce balls?
Yeah.
That's what these cars are like going down a hallway.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Zip it down. That's what these things look like when they're going around and around after making contact. So I don't think that's the last of it, obviously. I know we're having a little technical difficulties here, but as far as laps go, what are we at, Sean? Where are we running at right now?
Well, we're on lap 63, and I'll tell you, we have not that many more people on the lead lap. I think it's only the first 23 racers are on the lead lap as we sit. So I know there's some pit stops going on and some shuffling going on as well. But out of the 36 racers out there, only 23 of them are on the lead lap right now. That's
crazy. That's what, almost half our field?
We're getting there. If we get down to 18, then we're halfway. But yeah, if we keep having wrecks like this, and I think we're going to have probably 10 to 15 people on the lead lap, and that's about it.
Yeah, we still got Dow up there running. I mean, we had a little bit of a green flag run that time. He was still holding and maintaining position. I don't know, and again, with the technical difficulties, I know you don't know either, Sean. We're not keeping track of who pitted and where. We'll make sure we're able to do that on these next round of pit stops. But for right now, I don't know how his tires are holding up after going halfway through this race.
Well, honestly, I don't believe that Danny Dow has even come into the pits yet, and I don't think Bobby Brill has either. So I think they're trying to possibly ride this out because of all the cautions and try to ride this out maybe without a pit stop.
I would be doing the same thing if I was them. I mean, if I'm holding up front and nobody's challenging me, and that's just between me and Pettit and Brill and a couple of these other guys, I'm going to hold what I got.
Well, and that's what's going on up at the front of the pack, and I really think that anybody that has pitted so far are the ones that are a lap down. So we've got a lot of players out there that are on old tires, very little gas. I think they're just hoping for more and more caution so that they can have a nice sprint to the finish line.
Yeah, and again, we saw that in a couple of races in season one where, and I think I actually took home a win at Indianapolis because of that, where we never really got a lot of those green flag runs. We were able to save our stuff. Track position was everything. You still had to race hard to the end, but you didn't have to do it for 125 laps. It was more like a 10-lap run. So that looks like the way we may be headed here tonight.
That's right, and I think we're going to come back to green here. Again, Danny Dow leading just like he has literally every single lap of this race so far. Bobby Brill in second place, making the challenge, trying to go for 2 in a row for do-gooders.
2 in a row for do-gooders. Who would have thought? Here we go, Sean.
And once again, Danny Dow clears everybody. But I don't think Bobby Brill and Dean Brummett are going to let him go.
You know, and you got Pettit right behind them, and it looks like we've got the 2 car coming up behind them. And I'll tell you what, our pole sitter in the 62, he's coming back with a vengeance as well.
Yeah, never count out anybody here at Bristol with all the cautions that happen. If you just play track position all night long, and you have a shot at it at the end.
You do, and we are starting to see some of those guys. Oh man,
Oh,
there's another caution
one
here, Sean.
Well, let's go back and find out what happened. I think this one might be, I don't know, it might be Zimmerman.
Oh, you hate to see that. Of course, there goes our pace car. Man, he's faster than the leaders. But Zimmerman, he's been running so well. Just a great all-around guy. Active Air Force, I do believe. I think he's down in Texas right now, and hate to see him get caught up in something.
Yeah, he's down in San Antonio. He's in a hotel, and he and Mike Lewis just get together. Just a racing incident there. Not really sure who's at fault, but he goes down, he goes spinning, and I think he avoided just about everybody there. He might have gotten a few others tagged along the way here at the back end of the, yep, here we go. Number 66 gets into him, the number 09, 555, and there's Daniel Bowdler once again, Brandon Browning once again tied up in that. So nowhere to go here at Bristol.
And I'm not exactly sure on that Lewis-Zimmerman accident. It looked, because they were on the straightaway, Zimmerman was coming out of the turns. Mike Lewis already, cars trashed up from some earlier incidents. Looks to me like Lewis was coming down and Zimmerman was coming up. I can understand why Zimmerman would be coming up into the racing line off the corner, but why Lewis was coming down, I'll have to go back and take a look at that.
Well, let's see if we can get this from another view and possibly get this from behind. And so maybe we can see what exactly happens here. And so you'll see the Zimmerman down there on the low side of the track. He's going to have to come up a little bit off that turn. Looks like Mike Lewis up against that wall. And I'm not sure. Mike doesn't look like he came down too much. But once again, just you never know. On this narrow of a track, Thomas, there's just going to be incidents.
Yeah, and it's going to happen. There's not enough real estate for these cars to be running side by side, especially with these tires wearing out, frustrations being and where they're at this point in the race. You know, these guys are just going for the same piece of pavement. They both, one's coming up, one's coming down a little. Maybe it's not that much, but it's enough to send Zimmerman around.
Well, I'll tell you, Thomas, so this has gotten a little out of control out here. So many cautions that race control has decided that we are going to go single file restarts from here on out. Hopefully we can get some green flag racing out of it.
Well, it's always nice to see the frustration bubble up to the trailer, right? So if they're going single file, that tells you that that there needs to be some changes in the race. I'm having fun though, Sean. I know we've had some tough technical difficulties tonight, but we've got to see some good racing here. And I tell you what, we've had one good green flag run, and you're starting to see some of these guys rise to the top behind the 25 and the three guys in front of him. I mean, just look, you've got the 00 of Marshall Stanley there. Marshall Stanley was involved in two earlier incidents, put him towards the back of the pack, and he's right there up front in the top six now.
Yeah, I mean, we got some people up front there that are just not even normally in the league. So we have Matt Johnson, he's an independent right behind Marshall Stanley there. You have Justin Boyles back here in 10th. So a lot of good drivers in here that are not necessarily part of the league, but man, they are showing out today. But we're going to get back to green here with Danny Dow bringing us to the line.
Another quick start there by Dow. He's keeping it in the very first part of that box. He's running out fast and getting away from these guys.
Yeah, he just pulls away so quickly. He just gets that jump and nobody else can catch him. And so right now it looks like a race for second place if this keeps up.
Yeah, we still got a long way to go though, Sean. We're only about just a little over halfway through this race, I do believe. You've got, again, there's Marshall Stanley and our pole sitter in the 62 there with Matt Johnson racing nose to tail, fighting for position. Be curious to see where this one goes and which one of those guys can get back up to the lead, but it looks like Johnson is quickly catching up on the rear bumper of Stanley.
Yeah, and over here we got Danny Dow up front, Bobby Brill right behind him, Dean Brummett right behind him. It's a three-car race up at the front right now, and it looks like maybe the admin's strategy has paid off, and maybe we'll get some green flag laps here. Is that good or bad for Danny Dow?
I think it could end up good because I know how Dow races, but at the same time, you know, I know we haven't ran a lot of green flag laps on these tires. It doesn't mean these tires aren't wearing. And I can tell you what, these guys that have saved their stuff or maybe had some pit stops in the back are coming. If you look back through the field, just walking it back while we've got some racing here, Sean. We got Danny Dow first, Bobby Brill second. Looks like Dean Brummett in the 3rd place, Adam Pettit in 4th, and Troy Dow in 5th. How are we looking through the rest of the top 10 there, Sean?
Yeah, we got Marshall Stanley back in 6th, Matt Johnson right on his tail. Jake Roel from Stryker Motorsports coming up on them back in 8th place. Chris Massey, a late pickup by Wild Bill Motorsports. Love that car. He is up in 9th, and Justin Boyles, another independent, up in 10th. So there's your top 10.
Yeah, and Boyles is kind of a patient racer. I liken him to Kevin Harvick. He runs good. He's got a strong car every week. He's one of those guys you got to watch for being there right at the end. So we'll see where he ends up finishing. But looks like Dow, the 1 and the 25, have kind of settled in on the front side right now.
Yep, and that's the view out of Danny Dow. It looks like he's coming up on some lap traffic here. That might be hurtful. Oh, and everybody's going to go a little crazy here. He's going to go on the outside. Let's see if he can sneak. Oh, no, Danny Dow into the wall. We've got another caution.
Oh, man. Another Dent Wizard wreck replay and caution coming. Danny Dow into the wall, Sean. We're going to have to see what happened there.
Well, let's go back and find out. But if I'm seeing this correctly, I do believe that it might have had something to do with Brandon Browning. So let's take a look here and find out where we're at. Oh, nope, Lipicki gets turned by his teammate, Zimmerman, and then Browning goes down into the wall. So a little bit of teammate damage, friendly fire, and then everybody starts spinning, and that's what gets into the leaders.
Boy, you hate to see that. Those guys on Lipicki and Zimmerman, that team runs so close together that getting into each other is going to be kind of an awkward conversation across the table after this race within that team.
I think you may be right. Let's jump over there and see if we can see what happened a little bit better. Let's go to a different view here and see. Oh, it looks like Zimmerman just got down into the bottom of him and just spun him, and then everything else just went crazy there. But you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun with this. Let's jump back and go into Zimmerman's cockpit and see what happened here. See if he just ran out of room or what. And so here he comes. And yeah, it's just Lipicki just comes up just a hair. Zimmerman has nowhere to go. Spins him. Not really sure if anybody's at fault. Of course, old tires out there. Just never know.
You know, that's very similar to that accident we just saw a few minutes ago with Lewis involved, where you got 2 race cars going for the same piece of pavement. And there's just not enough room.
Yeah, we just run out of stuff, and now everybody's jumping into the pits, and I believe we are going to have a new leader.
It looks like we've got, who is that, Marshall Stanley?
That's Marshall Stanley, one of our independents. He's up there in 1st place. And then A.J. Pritchett, we haven't called his name out all night. That's a Tank Racing guy there. So A.J. Pritchett up in 2nd. And look who is in 3rd place, Daniel Bowler.
He got an accident early, Sean, and here he comes. You knew he was going to be up there. You got him followed by Sean Dye. Sean was caught up in some accidents early, and then Fraser Buda Customs in the 17. Danny Setzer running up there with those guys.
That's right. Then there's your buddy David Duke in the CMC fabrication car. And then another newcomer right behind him, Travis Trevelyan from Stryker Motorsports in the 71.
Yeah, you also, too, looking through this leaderboard, you got Corey Knight that's up there right behind Travis. Adam Pettit behind him. It looks like we're going to have some new names up here racing for this. This could make it exciting up front. I know we haven't had a lot of hard green flag racing, but this changes the whole landscape of this race, Sean.
Absolutely. I think we're probably going to have a little bit of fun here at the front now that we have somebody new up there. We were so used to Danny Dow just jumped out ahead of everybody. Let's see if Marshall Stanley can do the same thing. He's a pretty good racer himself. And here we go, back to green, lap 88 of 125. We're about 2/3 of the way there. Marshall Stanley jumps out front. A.J. Pritchett right behind. Daniel Bodler in 3rd place. And Sean Dyson 4th for Rev Racing.
Looks like just going through the field here, trying to see where these leaders are at. AJ Pritchett up there running. I haven't seen a lot from AJ. Not really sure how he's going to do here leading this pack down.
And once again, those of you that are just joining us, we apologize for any technical difficulties here. We are working those things out. We believe that it's an internet connection coupled with kind of an older computer, but we're going to work on that. We're going to get that a little bit better for us. But Marshall Stanley catching up to the back of the pack already. It looks like he's going to catch up to Justin Kruckman in the Mello car there.
Here they go, Sean. They're off and running. Single file restarts as mandated by the admin here late in the race. So far, it's been helping out.
Yeah, hopefully we get a nice long green. We only have, what, 33? Oh, no, I said it, and then it didn't happen. We have another yellow flag out there.
That's just one more yellow there, Sean. I can tell you what, talking about this track again, it's a half mile. They call it the world's fastest half mile. It's the Coliseum. You can see it painted on the walls. They call it the last great Coliseum. Weather's 80 degrees, track temps at 83 degrees with a little bit of wind tonight. It's tough for these guys to race on this track on old tires, even on cold new tires.
Yeah, let's see if we can go back and find out what happened there. We're really not getting too much knowledge on who caused that accident, but we're just going to look around here and see if we can see anybody. But I don't see anything that actually caused that yellow flag. So kind of a curious one, and kind of goes along with where we've been this entire race. Just kind of curious.
Well, and taking a look back here too, Sean, I'm going through some of our replay footage we've got, and I can't really tell. Sounds like Corey Knight may have been involved in that.
I'm not seeing too much there. But Corey Knight, he's still in the lead lap, so not really sure, and his car doesn't look all that bad, so not really sure what happened there. Not really sure the caution the cause of that caution, but we've got another couple laps here, and then we're going to get right back to it with Marshall Stanley up front. Looks like Chad Wampler is going to get the wave around there.
Yeah, Wampler with the wave around, going to put him back on, I think, the lead lap, which for him, that's going to be some exciting news. He'll be very motivated. He'll want to race up towards the front. I think right now Wampler is running in.
He's running up in about 21st place. He's 20th, 21st. He's going to get back there on the lead lap, and really anybody that has seen Chad Wampler drive, you do not want to see him on the lead lap. You would rather see him a lap or two down.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually going to be so far scored in front of Zimmerman, but he'll probably start just behind. Yeah, you got Brandon Browning. He's still a lap down. He's been caught up in some stuff tonight. De Silva's 2 laps down. Kruckman's 2 laps down. Gerwitz, we haven't talked about him really any tonight. He's 3 laps down. Brandon Arciero, he's 6 laps down. Ruggles 9 laps. Surprise, Lepicki's 13 laps down. Gary Ragland 14, and then from there it's just in unrecoverable mode.
Yeah,
Lepicki's
just had some bad luck getting into it with his own teammate Zimmerman there for a little while. He's also been caught up with a couple of the other cautions, and so just once again bad luck. When we get into these short tracks, Bristol and Martinsville, and then we get into the super speedways of Daytona and Talladega, a lot of luck plays into it. I think we're going to get to the more skilled races here in the meat of our season.
Yeah, speaking of skilled drivers, did I tell you who's in second there, Sean?
You didn't have to. I saw it. That's Daniel Baudler in second place from Stake Dance Racing. He is trying to come back from a horrible finish last week, and he is trying to turn around the entire season in one race.
Oh, absolutely he is, and he smells blood in the water. He's that kid that will get blisters on his hands driving a sim wheel. Not just a real wheel, but a sim wheel. So very excited. Oh, looks like we got some guys checking up there on the restart there with Zimmerman and Mike Lewis.
Yeah, but we're going to get back to a restart here. So Marshall Stanley bringing us to the green flag, and Baudler right behind him in second place. Once again, we are single file because of race admin, his decision there because of so many cautions. Hopefully we get some more green flags out of this.
And so far, they're off and running. You can see Travis Trevelyan is a little bit off the pace, trying to run that low line. You got Pettit and Dow in a battle there, trying to go through against the 87, 62 on the inside of Dow. Some really tight racing going on here.
Yeah, all sorts of racing all the way back through the pack. But really, if you look up front, besides our independents here, a lot of common names up here. Daniel Bodler, Dean Brummett, Adam Pettit. Looks like Danny Dow is up in 5th place. There's your choice right there. So, I mean, a lot of common names up there. But leading the way, Marshall Stanley, an independent. But looks like Dean Brummett's coming to the inside.
Yeah, he's trying to take over that second spot from Bodler. He's running that low line, too. He's having to check up a little bit, and that's letting the 00 get by. But look behind those 3 cars. You got Pettit, Dow, and our pole sitter coming with a quickness.
Oh, but Dean Brummett takes the lead on the low line. Bodler's going to try to follow him there. Let's see if he can clear Stanley. He does, and he goes back up to that high line. Dean Brummett, our new leader.
And this is that racing we were looking for, folks. These 6 cars up front here, these guys have risen to the top regardless of the technical and the 00's in the wall, but he saves it. Regardless of the technical difficulties tonight, regardless of everything going on the track with multiple cautions, you got good side-by-side racing right here with the guys that have fought hard to get up there.
Yeah, and it looks like Dean Brummett's just running away with it right now. He's just hoping it goes green the rest of the way because I don't see anybody catching him right now. He's over a second ahead at Bristol.
Second's not much at Bristol. You can lose that in lap traffic and on old tires in a heartbeat. He's already and we got a caution out again,
and there it is. And let's go back and find out what happened with our Dent Wizard wreck replay.
I do believe one of our pre-race picks is also sitting up there in second now, Sean.
Oh, and Taylor Smith got into the wall, takes out his own teammate Corey Knight. So a lot of friendly fire tonight. First Tank Racing, and now with do-gooders, some friendly fire going on, and that's going to be some awkward situations when it comes to the team meeting later. And then Zimmerman runs into Corey Knight, nowhere to go there. And then everybody else stacks up. There's nowhere to go here at Bristol.
I'm looking at this wreck, Sean, trying to figure out how that one happened. Didn't look like they were really coming down on each other. It looked like they were just close on each other's side panels. But I'll tell you what, we've talked about how we want to see some rivalries start to grow organically out of this league. We didn't mean within the teams.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit of fun when we talk to everybody after the race, especially in those Discord channels. I have a feeling that we might want some trading going on between teammates. So you never know. That could happen in this league.
Yeah, and just looking at that replay again, I mean, you got, I don't know if Taylor was diving down low or what he was doing, or if it was just a little bit of net code involved. They definitely got together. It's going to be interesting. I think even our post-race interviews with the top 3 are going to be a little exciting. Those guys probably may want to talk because they won the race. The others may not want to talk because of the battle they've had to fight tonight.
Well, Taylor Smith, it looks like he just bounced off the wall a little bit, and then Corey Knight already had some damage to that Griffith CPA firm car, just came up into him. There's just nothing that he could do. Like I said, this is such a narrow racetrack and such a short racetrack that there is just nowhere to go when something like that happens. And then, of course, everybody stacks up behind him.
Yeah, and seeing that again, obviously didn't see Taylor coming off the wall that first run through. Seeing him come off the wall there, had nowhere to go, car's loose, bounces into Knight. Knight's car's already flat in the rear, flat in the front. I mean, just like everybody else's car on the track tonight. Racing incident. Nothing we haven't already seen on caution number 1,900 so far in tonight's race.
That's right. And Corey Knight, it looks like he's out of fast repairs. He's going to be stuck in the pits there for a while, getting some damage fixed. So he may be out of this race, but looks like we've got 23 racers still on the lead lap. And then it looks like we've got our leader, Dean Brummett, but right behind him, Danny Dow, who has led a lot of this race, and he is right back up there trying to fight for it again. And, of course, Daniel Bodler right behind him. So 3 big guns going at it here. And then our pole sitter, Matt Johnson, back and forth after a bad first start of the race. Coming all the way back. So then Adam Pettit in 5th. That's your top 5 right now.
Yeah, you got, again, the SRN guys, half that team up there, a little flip-flop from last week, so I'm sure they're happy they're doing better. Then you got Marshall Stanley in 6 behind Pettit, Sean Dice in that 7th position, Troy Dow, who we really haven't talked about tonight, but we know's got the talent running up there. Jake Roll, then again, coming in 10th, that independent Justin Boyles.
Yep, so top 10, a lot of common names from the entire race, but we're about to get back to it, I believe. And we're going to get Dean Brummett bringing us to the green flag with 15 laps to go. 15 laps to go. Dean Brummett takes off. And he's got a little bit of space between him and Danny Dow already.
Yeah, you got Matt Johnson coming up fast, too, behind Bodler. Pettit behind him. We're going to see these guys catch up to the leader here, and I think you're going to see some real tight racing. I would not be surprised to see something happen at the front of this pack to cause the next caution.
Well, we got Danny Dow trying to track down Dean Brummett here.
Yeah, it looks like Dean's got some lap cars in front of him this early on, too. A couple of them are pulling down, but a couple of them are racing for position. You get the Miller yellow car, and oh, man, and we've got another caution.
Another one. And this one, I think, happened relatively close to the front of the field. Let's go back and find out what happened with our wreck replay from Dent Wizard. And I believe we're going to see Jake Rowell. Yeah, Jake Rowell just kind of gets into, looks like the number 8 of Justin Boyles. They get together. We'll back that up here in just a second and see if anybody was at fault or if that was just a racing incident. But, yep, Jake Rowell goes for a spin. Not sure he got too terribly much damage there unless he gets hit. Yeah, he got a little bit of a scrape there from the 88 of Joseph DuPont, but let's check that out from another angle and see if we can see what happened here.
Whatever happened, it sent him spinning around pretty good.
Looks like from the rear here, he just came down and a little bit of net coating there and just got a little bit loose. Taps the wall. And that'll be that for that position. He may be able to retain the lead lap, but he's back in 20th position already. So losing a lot of positions there.
We hadn't done tonight, Sean, that we ought to do.
What's that?
We ought to see if we can get somebody up here in the booth. I wonder if we can get old Danny Dow up here in the booth before we go back green here.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that.
I'm not going to speak for Danny on this, Sean, but we can't get him connected right now. Maybe we'll get him here in just a minute. If not, we'll try and get him on the next caution. I don't mean to laugh when I say that, but I just don't think that we're going to go caution-free from here forward.
Yeah, you got to play the odds, and right now the odds are definitely against us going green the rest of the race. And of course, with as short as these cautions are throughout this race, here at Bristol being such a short track, we don't really want to disrupt their thought processes or their conversations with their teammates. So we do appreciate them when they're able to get in here for interviews, but we also understand if they're not able to. So
you got Brummett leading them back. We still got lights on the pace cars. We still got at least 2 more laps to go. But look at this top 5 we got here, Sean. You got Dean Brummett up there. He's been running good all night. Danny Dow, who was your leader early on in the race and stayed up there. Daniel Bodler, you and I both know he's got the talent, he's got the will, he needs to get up there, and that's in his blood, the need to get up there, but he's going to get some wins this season. Matt Johnson, he's right back up there again. Adam Pettit, you got him running. Troy Dow, again, we haven't talked about him. You got Marshall Stanley hanging in there with him.
Yeah, but then you got Justin Boyles, an independent that just came in at the last second here. Brian O'Shell, we have not said his name at all tonight from Rev Racing. He did not race last week, but he is here and he is helping everybody out. Chris Massey from Wild Bill Motorsports in 10th. Sean Dice from Rev Racing up in 11th. Travis Pavilion from Striker Motorsports rounds out the top 12 there.
Yeah, Joseph DuPont behind him. We might as well just keep going, right? We want some of these guys we haven't talked about. You got DuPont there. He's a strong racer. Witt's behind him and Josh Witt. Bobby Brill. Bobby Brill was up there several times tonight. He's fallen back. David
Yep.
Duke's kind of the same thing. Here they go. They're
right.
taking off now.
And Dean Brummett from Stryker Motorsports takes off, and he is out front. He dips down to the inside line. He likes that inside line. That's how he took the lead a little bit earlier.
Very surprised to see him race that too, Sean, because as we're watching everybody else, he's really the only one that's able to make that inside line work. And I don't know if that's something that's working early on from him, or if we get a green flag run to the end if he falls. Oh, and we've got a big wreck towards the back.
Oh no, not another one. And it looks like we're going to get one more wreck replay by Dent Wizard.
Yeah, and Sean, I was watching that in real time there towards the back, and it looked like somebody just got snapped loose.
Yeah, it looks like Marshall Stanley gets snapped loose. I'm not sure if Justin Boyles got into him or not, but then he takes a spin into the wall, takes out Justin Boyles. Justin Boyles looks like everybody got by there, but then the 87 of I believe that's Sean Dice gets hit, and then Do-Gooders gets into it. DuPont gets into it. A lot of damage back there in the back. We'll rewind that. Let's find out if we had anybody at fault there, or again, if that's just one of those racing incidents.
I'm not going to say what it is yet. Wow, that 00. He needs a pilot's license too as that thing flies. But it looks like Boyles might have got into him a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like he just bumped him. I'm not sure I'm going to call that getting rammed into him, but I'm going to call that just a little nudge. Not sure that really works here at Bristol in these Xfinity cars, but obviously did not work in that situation for either party, as you can see out there in the distance. As Justin gets kind of turned and hit a couple times there. So a lot of damage here. Looks like we are going to see how we're doing up front. See how many laps we got left here. We got 3 laps to go. Looks like we might go green, white checker.
Well, hopefully they don't have 20 green, white checkers, but it looks like we got Dow coming up to the booth to join us, Sean.
Yeah, let's see if we can talk to him a little bit. Hey, Danny Dow, how's it going, buddy?
Man, just sitting there trying to get up front.
Man, you were up front for a lot of that race. Kind of slid back once he got into pit stops. But now you're sitting here trying to track down Dean Brummett. What you got for him?
Man, this Silverback Tax Solutions SRN Chevrolet Camaro is about to take it to victory lane.
Sounds good, man. Can't wait to see that happen. We are still under a single file restart. What does that do for you?
Man, it's going to give him a little bit of an advantage. If I can stay right there on him, coming to the white, I'll have a good shot at it.
So, Danny,
Yes.
how does this compare to last season's race at Bristol?
Very similar. we had to get by the leader on the late race conditions, and luckily we were able to do it. And I don't know, we're going to try it again right here.
Well, Danny Dow taking the victory lane last season in the finale here at Bristol over our very own Thomas Rutherford. He's just got to get past one car here in Dean Brummett, and he's got himself another victory.
Well, I wasn't
Thomas,
gonna
miss
bring...
you out here on the track, buddy.
Yeah, I look forward to racing with you soon. I know we're racing another league later this week, but good luck. I'm not going to tell you what I said earlier in the broadcast about you, but I'll leave it and we'll talk after the race.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and that was Danny Dow up in second place right now. He is trying to track down Dean Brummett. We are on a green-white checker, and so if we can get one clean lap in, then we will only have one lap to go, and then the next flag wins the race. So Dean Brummett is just really hoping he gets a good restart here, and there he goes. Dean Brummett takes off. He gets a little bit of a lead there. He is just hoping no cautions right now until he gets to that white flag. Once he gets to that white flag, anything that happens, he is okay with.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect the 6 car with Bodler and the 21 are going to race each other dirty. They are not teammates here, but they are teammates. You can see the 62 racing the 6 close. The 21, he's trying to close up. I wasn't going to tell him I picked him to win the race.
And coming to the finish line, the 25 of Dean Brummett takes home the victory at the one way in, one way out, 125. Danny Dow in second, Matt Johnson in third, Daniel Bodler in 4th.
Matt Johnson gets that pass there at the end. Good finish for the 62 car. Love seeing the 6 car back up there, but great win by the 2 guys up front.
It looks
like we got some after race action.
I'm not sure if that was a love tap or what that was, but it looks like Danny Dow pushed on Dean Brummett a little bit. It was probably just a love tap.
I'm sure it was a congratulatory win. Surprised we don't see, I know we got the fireworks going on. Surprised we don't see any other fireworks going on here with the guys on their cool down lap compared to what we had during the race.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to get some fireworks in that Discord channel, and anybody that is not in that Discord channel, you might want to check that out. So definitely come and join us at Mid-South Madness in our league there. But Dean Brummett doing the donuts out front. And let's get Dean Brummett into the broadcast booth for our victory interview.
I don't think we have him yet here, Sean.
Well, we'll get him here in just a second, but let's just take a look here at the results while we're waiting on that. So Dean Brummett 1st place, Danny Dow 2nd place. So Danny Dow almost repeats at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Matt Johnson in 3rd, Bodler up to 4th. You know, he was fighting Johnson there pretty hard at the end, but Johnson got by him. Pettit, Dow, Troy Dow, that's not Danny, that's Troy's son, so strong finish for him. And then you said it, we were talking about him, Brian O'Shell.
Yeah, Brian O'Shell didn't even race last week, came back this week. We said all week long that if he was up there on par with the other 3 Rev Racing guys, then everybody was in trouble. And here he is up in 7th. Then you have Chris Matsey in 8th, Sean Dice in 9th, and Bobby Brill, last week's winner, in 10th position.
And Sean, I think we've got our race winner here, number 25 with Stryker Racing, Dean Brummett in the booth. Dean, congratulations.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Man, it's all good up here.
I'll tell you what, I think it might be a little better down here in this cockpit.
Hopefully it's a little better now that race is over.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, it was a fun one. First half of the race was a whole lot of tire conservation and patience, and had that one caution towards the end of the race, and had a lap car just kind of back down into my right rear and sent me around. And was able to get it turned around real quick, get everything going, didn't lose any spots, and everybody pitted. And the guys that stayed out, they, the older tires, just these new ones just overtook them and in a quick heartbeat.
Yeah, man, we saw that pit happen, and I think that happened at the best time for you. But as far as we saw you running the low line more than the high line, what was going on with that?
Yeah, so with it, I mean, once his car got a couple laps on the tires, you kind of had to pass them where they weren't, and just with this Stryker Motorsports number 25, I mean, she turned real good, was real nice and free in the center, and just let me be able to make the passes, like I said, where everybody wasn't.
So, Dean, expectations for this race now that it's all over, coming into Mid-South Madness this season, having that many drivers on the track, was it what you expected?
I thought the race would be a little cleaner now with running Daytona last week. I mean, hey, those are kind of the one-off races. The plate races are a little bit of luck, but with this one, I mean, it was a little more carnage filled than what I thought it was going to be. But in the end, like I said, it's not to be that guy, but hey, let the carnage happen. So long as I'm watching it in the mirror, I don't really care.
Well, congratulations, buddy, bringing that Stryker Motorsports vehicle home, and go out there and party with your teammates.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody who watched tonight. My parents have been watching me on these broadcast races for some time, and just want to thank them for watching in so many. And roses are red. Today may have been my day off, but now we're in the Mid-South playoffs, boys.
That's right. Congratulations. Winning you're in. Dean Brummett in the playoffs.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
All right, buddy.
See you, Dean. Congrats.
All right, well, let's talk about next week's race, Thomas.
Next week's race, it is the cheese grater race, the midnight cheese grater. Now, I'm going to get this wrong, Sean. 75 at Atlanta?
Yep, 75 laps at Atlanta. That's correct.
Yeah, so 75 laps at Atlanta is going to wear these cars, wear these drivers, and definitely wear these tires out. That's why we're calling it the cheese grater race. I'll tell you what, if we see the same thing next week that we saw tonight, there's going to be some guys that blow their tops.
You know, I'm not really sure we're going to see that. I think Atlanta's one of those places that you can get a little bit of distance on people. It's enough room out there for everybody to be there. There's a couple different lines you can play with. Yes, tires are going to be a huge factor. The heat is going to be a huge factor. But I really think that we're going to see a lot cleaner race next week, a lot more green flag racing.
I expect so, Sean. I think you're going to see the cream rise to the top, too. You're going to see some of the more talented drivers out of this field get up front, race clean, and keep their noses clean the whole race while they've got the action happening behind them. I would expect to see two different styles of racing next week between the cream rising to the top and the rest of the field.
All right, well, we'll see how everything shakes out next week. But for this week, your winner, Dean Brummett from Stryker Motorsports. Everybody have a fantastic evening, and we will see you all here next week.